Have you ever prayed the same prayer over and over again and wondered if God was listening? Maybe you've prayed for healing, for a breakthrough, for a loved one, for an answer that never seemed to come. Day after day, you pray, yet nothing appears to change. And sometimes, if we're honest, we begin to wonder, does God even hear me? But what if something is changing? What if God is already working in ways you cannot see? Because when you pray every day, something powerful begins to happen, not only around you, but within you. The Bible reminds us in Jeremiah 29:13, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Daily prayer is more than a habit. It is an invitation into God's presence. And the more you pray, the more you begin to recognize that you are never truly alone. Many people wait until life falls apart before they pray. But those who pray daily learn to walk with God before the storm arrives. They begin to notice His guidance, His comfort, His peace. Not because life becomes easier, but because His presence becomes more real. And when God's presence becomes real, something else begins to change. Fear slowly starts losing its power. The truth is, prayer does not instantly remove every problem. The bills may still be there. The diagnosis may not change overnight. The waiting season may continue. But prayer does something incredible. It shifts your focus from the size of your problem to the greatness of your God. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God." Every time you pray, you remind your soul of that promise. Little by little, anxiety gives way to trust. Worry gives way to peace, and fear loses some of the control it once had over your heart. But daily prayer doesn't only affect your emotions, it also changes the way you see your life. When our minds are overwhelmed, everything feels confusing. Every decision feels heavier. Every challenge feels bigger. Every uncertainty feels frightening. Yet prayer creates space for clarity. Prayer slows us down. It helps us hear God's wisdom above the noise of the world. Philippians 4:6-7 tells us, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." And what happens next? The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Notice that the verse doesn't promise immediate answers. It promises peace. And often, peace comes before direction. Before God changes your circumstances, He changes your perspective. There is another powerful transformation that happens through daily prayer. Prayer strengthens you during seasons of waiting. Many people stop praying when answers don't come quickly, but those who continue praying discover something important. Waiting is never wasted when God is involved. Sometimes God is preparing you. Sometimes He is protecting you. Sometimes He is building faith that could not be developed any other way. The delay may be frustrating, the silence may be painful, but God's timing is always purposeful. And prayer gives you the strength to keep trusting when you cannot yet see the outcome. Every prayer becomes a declaration. God, I still trust you, even here, even now, even in the waiting. And perhaps the greatest thing that happens when you pray every day is this: your relationship with God grows deeper. Many people begin praying because they want something from God, and there's nothing wrong with that. God invites us to bring our needs to Him. But over time, something beautiful happens. Prayer becomes less about getting something and more about being with someone. You begin to desire His presence more than His gifts. You begin to love the giver more than the blessing. And that is where true transformation begins. Because the greatest miracle of prayer is not always the answer. Sometimes the greatest miracle is the person you become while waiting for it. A person with greater faith, greater peace, greater trust, greater intimacy with God. So if you've been praying every day and wondering whether God hears you, don't give up. Every prayer matters. Every prayer is heard. Every moment spent seeking God has value. Even when heaven seems silent, even when nothing appears to be changing, God is still working. He has not forgotten you. He is closer than you think. And one day, you may look back and realize that while you were praying for God to change your situation, God was quietly changing you. And that may have been His greatest answer of all.